What's up? It's been a while. I've been away. I went home, and before I went home, I recorded a video. And I'm trying to, I watched through it, and I saw that there's just I was talking, I was rambling, and I hadn't taken a break in over a year. I'm on my grind, right? I'm chasing the dream. I'm improving myself. I'm working myself tirelessly, relentlessly, violently. And yeah, I got a bit frustrated because I know you guys like my videos because they're pretty authentic, right? But I don't know, in some parts, I just wasn't making fucking sense. So I wrote some things down, and I'm gonna go through them now so that I properly get a sentence right. So yeah, I moved away from home, right? And it's never been I've never had this feeling of, oh, I don't really give a shit, about haters and whatnot. And it's funny because, obviously now I'm on the internet, and obviously now I have haters, and in a way, now I care less about it. So that was interesting. And at the same time, I've also received so much love from strangers, right? I've received a lot of love from you guys, and I've actually met some of you in real life that have come to the cafe, or I've met some of you we've gotten closer to in Hero Academy, which you can join in the description. I'm working on some stuff there, by the way, and sometimes it takes time. I know, for example, the coffee course, the barista course, but I'm also working on some other stuff, so yeah. Anyhow, it's just that, in a way, to me, it felt like love has always been conditional. Not because at home that's what I was given. My parents did a great job, and family-wise, and friends and so on. But just for me, for myself, love has always been conditional, especially romantically. So it was hard to come to terms with it, with so much love, so much support. So thank you very much again. And I don't know if I thank you guys enough, or if I do, whatever, it's just, yeah. I also noticed that as of late, or in the past few months, or throughout this whole journey, that I embarked on, following my own path, chasing my own dreams, and aiming towards something, I just don't like to complain anymore. There's something about it, and I also felt like some people probably don't want to hear this from me, but there really is something about learning to pull yourself together. And it's something that I think we all have to do. It's something I never had, I don't think. Not really. And in a way, I abused that sort of skill that I think everybody probably develops at some point in their life. Probably has to, And, I started running or exercising very late. For example, I started running at midnight. Actually, on my birthday, on my 22nd birthday. You know how you'll party and or you wait till it's 12 and then party and whatnot. I went for a run. I went for a run, and last month, my birthday was a long time ago, but last month I went through something with someone, and it didn't work out, and for the past few months, I just kind of felt very disconnected from myself in a way. Like I was getting stuff done, you know, but something in me was lacking. And I stopped posting, and not because of it, but I stopped posting and stuff. And to feel something or anything, I kind of felt the need to push myself physically and mentally to an extreme. I started running at 3 in the morning, which I did post about once on my Instagram. If you follow me there, you know. Yeah, it's epic, right? But I don't know. And also, you know, upset because I haven't posted something in a while. Though I did finally release another newsletter just a few days ago, which you should check out. It's called The Angel Syndrome. And I think it's something that really encompasses most of the things that I've struggled with, or that I struggle with, and that I think a lot of people struggle with. And it's something you'll definitely be hearing more about from me. I think it's one of the most important parts about this whole work that I've been doing on myself, or you know, just inner work, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah. And what really annoys me is that, you know, there's this feeling that came back, which is, oh, I need, like there's people telling me that I should upload something, or even worse, like the fact that I need it, that I need someone to tell me to do something, whatever it is, post a video, or go after something, or take an opportunity, right? Because the whole reason I wanted to get away from everybody and everything was to not be so dependent on everybody else all the time. So it's really frustrating. It was really frustrating. You know, I mean, I really pushed myself so that I wouldn't have to be dependent on everybody, you know, on everybody else, because that's pretty much all I knew, you know, and that really sucks. You know, now I don't anymore, and I think I really went to the other extreme, where, you know, I've isolated myself for sure, you know, and that's not healthy. You do kind of lose yourself a bit, because some things about you, I guess, now in retrospect, they don't change, and they shouldn't. And maybe in a way I tried changing, not because I wanted to be more myself, but I think in some ways, you know, if I'm honest with myself, I changed so that I would fit in better. And I think there is something about that, you know, you don't want to be too weird, right? You have to be odd to be extraordinary, sure, but maybe you're just missing out on growth because you lack self-awareness, or because maybe what people are telling you might be true or have some truth to it. Yeah. And in a way, I stopped really connecting with people, because I guess I've been, or I was basing my value on competence, and in a way making it all just very, I mean, it ended up being conditional again, like love and friendships and whatnot, instead of seeing if it'll stick or not. But that's obviously not the whole story, you know, but yeah. Working and exercising became addicting. You know, it became a way of, I mean, work can become addicting, you know. And as someone who always avoided work, as much as possible. For me to say that is just I mean, that's fucking weird, you know, that's crazy. I don't know, but it makes me feel proud, of course, you know. And exercise became addicting too, of course, right? Because it gives you confidence, it gives you proof that you can push yourself. It's very rewarding, you know. And in a way, because of this whole pushing myself, I've stopped feeling a lot of empathy for people. You know, I used to have overbearing empathy, thinking it makes me a good person, you know, putting my own, you know, worldview on everybody else, thinking everybody is as sensitive or weak as I am, when that's not true. And yeah, like this lack of empathy kind of came from not giving myself any excuses, you know. And life, I mean, it feels much better when you stop giving yourself excuses, because you realize that how little you do have. And I think life feels much worse when you give in to those excuses, because it's not really, it's not, oftentimes, I don't think it's taking care of yourself. It's just, it's avoiding, it's like escaping life. It's like procrastination in a way. And I noticed that today I was just kind of pushing everything forward, you know, thinking, oh, you know, I'm taking care of myself, but I really wasn't. It's quite the opposite. So, yeah, I mean, I really fell into that trap of excuses so many times, and I still do, and I probably still will. I think it's probably just a normal thing, right? But yeah. And besides, you know, because I mean, I flew back again home, right, after a year and a half of moving out, right? Moving out for good, because I lived I've lived abroad before when I was younger, 2 times. Each time it was like a year. And this time it's like, well, I'm not going back home. I mean, I'm not, you know, at least let's hope, you know, I don't have to move back and think everything's going to go fine, right? That's how I mean it, of course. But I in a way, I completely ignored that whole part about, oh, you know, moving out, how it kind of, you know, feels, the pain that comes with it. I just forgot about it. You know, learning to take care of yourself, like, you know, and I'm a perfectionist, so, you know, of course I want to meal prep and I want to do things properly, and I want to have a space that's nice. I don't want to live in shambles, you know, and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, that whole thing, it's like I'm 22 now. It's a bit unreal, and I forget it sometimes. When did that happen, you know? Like, the fuck? Yeah. I used to be exhausted working after 6 hours a day. 6 hours. And now, you know, I was very happy and proud to say, like, oh shit, you know, I can work for 9 hours or like the whole shift, and I can even do overtime and still get myself to go running, go work out. And it feels awesome. Like, I fucking did that shit, you know? And yeah, I did. I mean, like, I remember, like, it was like I stayed overtime, and then I went home, put the weighted vest on, and then ran till like 1 a.m. or some shit. I don't remember, but yeah. then again, it's like, well, what for in a way, right? But just to prove to myself, right? That's what it's really about. And I should share those wins more, I think. I should just share those things more. Like the shit that I do. And for example, now me being an entrepreneur, the struggles I go through, the trying to balance everything, it's not fucking easy. It's not easy, trying to work hard in my day job, which I really like, building something of my own, doing this whole, YouTube, and keeping up with staying fit. Like, of course I have fitness goals and shit, and friends, and family and stuff, like a social life. It's important. I depleted myself of a social life for a year, and it's not great. It's not great. But yeah, it's what I needed. I needed it. I truly believe in burning the bridges, because you can really get yourself to do something if you have no option B. And I've always believed in this ever since I was like a kid. Yeah. So, yeah. That's how you build. You need to build a stack of proof, for yourself. Because then you realize, and there's that part again that I don't think people want to hear this from me, because, I've always been this mindful. Well, I don't know what people think of me again, but mindful guy, right? And you need to learn how to pull yourself together. I had to. I still think I've got ways. I still need to learn that more, maybe. I've always been so, like, I mean, there's something about self-mastery, that level of self-mastery where you can get yourself to do shit, and even like it and stuff. Like, fuck, I mean, that's greatness, and once you do that, and you just plow through whatever it is that you have to plow through, you realize, oh boy, this whole fear that I had, the anxiety, the stress, it was for what? Nothing happened. Nothing. It was all in my head. It wasn't real. So yeah. It happens over and over again, I think. It's like, this makes me super anxious. This, oh my God, I'm so fucking stressed. I want to go home. I'm having a panic attack, whatever. And then someone comes along and says, are you in or are you out? And then you have no option. Like, you have no other options. Like, I either do this, or if I quit, then I'll have to pack everything and go back and start again. And who knows what happens then? I don't even want that. I can't even think of that option. And so you just pull yourself together. And then you realize, oh shit, I'm fine. And then you move on and you go on, and then it's like, well, maybe you, I don't know. Yeah, there's something about not trusting your feelings sometimes. Sometimes they're wrong. Especially if you could do something. There's always, like, as of the past few months, I don't really care about what goes on in my life, so long I have, as long as I have a choice. And pretty much, I think there's always a choice. there's just so much more that's within my control, you know, that I can work on, that I can change. Like, for example, I don't have time. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Anyhow, it's not what I was going to talk about, but yeah, there's something about like wanting to get stronger and aiming towards that. And that it doesn't just come with age. It's something I think you need to aim at, because, for example, I've met people that are far older than me, and they, whether they're very childish or, I don't know, it's just weird, you know? It's just like, And maybe that's also where my lack of empathy comes in sometimes, which is like, you didn't do your part. You didn't try hard enough. You know? You took the easy way out. Yeah. Just to say, by the way, that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to go sip a pina colada on the beach, all right? So, should be mentioned. Yeah, I oftentimes don't feel like I'm entitled to write motivational stuff, because it feels like I don't have the results for that, you know? I've always been a terrible judge of myself. I'm getting better at that, you know, judging my wins and my losses and waging them out, and trying to be self-aware enough and not too self-aware. And yeah. Something I learned now is that, you know, no matter what happens, I have people that will love me no matter what, and there's a real something to that. So, you know, to my family, if you're watching this, I love you, and I could have never done any of this if it wasn't for you. So, yeah. I'm being a very serious guy right now. I don't know what the fuck. All right. I wrote down some notes so I wouldn't get lost. I also noticed that embarrassment isn't really on us. It's on other people. You know, it's their perspective. It's their, you know. But I do think it's sometimes it's okay to listen, you know. Because sometimes you might be doing yourself a disservice, you know. It's like, for example, I don't know, not knowing how to dress, or how to, not having great social skills. You might not care for it, but if you, there's just disadvantages to it, and then you should just fix that, you know. I think there's a difference between really caring about how you feel, and then having that overbear the actual taking care of yourself way, like in a self-respecting manner, you know. And I also think I see that a lot these days, maybe just because I'm on the internet too much. People in my generation, they really find anything to be the victim these days, and they really put their feelings first, like way too much, and it's like, Jesus Christ, guys, like, you know. Well, anyhow, you know, there's always going to be people out there to help you, and I'm really thankful to everybody who's always helped me and who probably still does. But you can't forget that the walking needs to be done by you. You know, I kind of crawled out of my own hell, and not just that. I'm moving towards something great, and it's easy to forget sometimes that, you know, that the steps are being done by you and not by other people. And maybe you've tried gaining things through sympathy, which is the worst way to gain anything at all. But that's also why maybe you feel like the care, you know, what you receive is undeserving, and even the help. And, you know, I'm obviously talking from experience. So yeah, don't be so quick to dismiss your own credit. You know, you're very quick to give credit where it's due, but not with yourself, maybe. So that's, you know. And in the video that I recorded, which now I'm re-recording, as I said, I remembered that I did a live stream on Instagram, and I told people, like, you know, I'm on my path and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I don't remember what I said. But I said, I'm going to fail, and I'm going to fail again and again. And then, you know, that's okay. That's eventually I get to somewhere. And then people started telling me, like, I shouldn't talk to myself that way. But what people don't get is that I don't feel very threatened by that, because I think I've failed quite a lot. I've embarrassed myself a lot. And I think I used to have a lot of, like, loud outer energy and confidence, but it wasn't all that real, I think. And now I've gained more inner confidence, which is just very quiet. Like something about, like, there's something real about that, about not caring about the perception of other people and using it. Because it really doesn't affect you much, I don't think. There's something about that. There's this thing that Mark Manson said, which is, we really look up to people that know they're imperfect, but they're okay with it, or something about that. I don't know. Yeah. I also think that failure is just like the participation fee for anything cool, or that you want, or that you like. So, yeah. Cliche or not, kill the person you need. No, you have to kill the person you are now to become the new you. And I kind of did that, you know, I've kind of done that in a way. But yeah, I still needed a break, you know. It's easy to get lost. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I also noticed that, you know, when I was growing up, I always felt very, like I didn't want to be here, you know. And thanks to that, I can see now, like, how lucky I am. You know, I am. But, yeah, in a way, I don't really think about the past much anymore. And maybe something I heard recently is that you should kind of stay connected with your past. And yeah, probably so, but doesn't mean that you should ruminate about it or dictate your next move based off of that. Lately, I also realized that just I'll be thinking about something, I'll be in a moment, and it's just like, oh wait, hold on, that's not real. You know, your mind, it doesn't know the difference, right? And so the emotions you feel, the stress you feel, like, it's not real. Sometimes, probably, like, oftentimes, a lot of the times, it's things that never happened, you know? Like, I'll be talking to myself or talking to someone that's not here. They're not even physically here. It's like, oh, I should have said that. Or I was like, well, fuck, I mean, it makes no sense. So, yeah. Making these videos give me so much peace, you know? They really do. And so I might as well just upload them, right? I don't know. Yeah. Also, I mean, I want to have more fun, you know? Definitely. Definitely. I need more fun. And yeah, there's something about it too. I mean, I've changed a bit since I uploaded my first video. You guys have been accompanying me for a while. And yeah. I don't know. I don't know. In some ways, I'm definitely still the same. But yeah. Cool. All right. Have a good one. See you around.